The last key concept in the Reduce framework is corroborating evidence. Now, if you have customer testimonials and you have case studies, you have people endorsing your product, that's great. That's a great first step. But really what we want is the perception of consensus. So we want to bombard the prospective customer with messages from different sources, different people, different brands, different individuals that they trust who keep creating the perception that you are the default choice in your category. So for example, Sendoso is this software for automating direct mail. And I heard about it from the internet. I heard about it from somebody who works in my industry. When I search for something related to direct mail, Sendoso comes up. So the perception in my mind is that there is a consensus here, that if you're trying to automate direct mail, Sendoso is just the only option to go with. The other key thing to keep in mind is not just having multiple people or sources endorsing your product, but concentrating that message in time. So let's say you have 3 case studies and somebody reads about those case studies over a period of a month and they're spread out. That doesn't create the perception in the prospect's mind that there's a trend, that there's a consensus. But if they see 3 case studies over 3 days and they're getting those from wildly different sources, then it creates the perception that there is a consensus there, that there's a trend there, that you are the default solution. So time concentration is important when you're trying to apply this idea of corroborating evidence. And one of the ways that I love to do this, and if you've taken my other courses, you know I'm a huge fan of influencer marketing. So leveraging people who have influence among your target customers to help spread word. And you can use SparkToro to identify who influences your target audience. So you put in criteria that define your target audience, and it'll give you a list of brands, publications, individual influencers based on channels such as YouTube or Instagram, whatever, Twitter. And if you can get multiple influencers to endorse your product, then there's the perception that you're the default option. Now, I've done this before. I did some growth hacking tactic where I identified maybe 10 to 20 influencers, and I got them all to broadcast a video live in a week period. And so essentially what happened was everybody was promoting my product simultaneously, showing it off to prospective users. So it created the idea that there's a consensus that, hey, this is the hottest thing right now. And then I was able to bump the ranking up to, a trending topic. So there's all sorts of cool growth hack tactics you can use with corroborating evidence. The other key thing to consider is just case studies in general. And we can see from this Harvard Business Review article that the case study is by far the content that prospects complete more than others. In our data, case studies have an 83% completion rate. So case studies are a great way of proving that other people trust, know, and get results from your brand, from your product. And I don't think you need to gate case studies, okay? Don't make people put in their email address to read the case study. You want them to read it. You want them to watch it if it's a video. We're going to talk later details about how to write a case study, but just keep in mind that it's one of the most effective ways to sell something in an ad, in the middle of the funnel, in various different ways. Here's an example where I applied a case study to an advertisement. We ran ads like this on LinkedIn and generated marketing qualified leads. So getting people to sign up for around $35. And the whole center of the ad is a case study about somebody who reduced her paperwork by 50% using dictation, which is the product category. And the call to action is to get them to sign up. And I use quotations from the case study in the actual text above the image. Okay, some other examples of corroborating evidence. Clipchamp, product I told you that I signed up for. Every time I try to save a video with Clipchamp, it says made with Clipchamp. Simple copywriting. Simple copywriting that if I were to send a video to somebody else, they would see that I had made the video with Clipchamp. So it creates some word of mouth virality there, creates the perception that Clipchamp can be trusted because I use it. And if people trust me as somebody for making videos, then they're going to trust Clipchamp. You get some kind of halo effect there. Another example, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I'm on the checkout page for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and it is populating a personalized recommendation, basically, of who else is using it. Other people I'm connected to, other people I talk to, other people I check out on LinkedIn. And that's the kind of social proof that might just get me over the edge to actually buy it. And related to this idea of corroborating evidence is the importance of using a multi-channel approach to marketing. So if I'm getting the same message from LinkedIn ads, from Facebook, from Instagram, it helps build that kind of everything is narrowing in on you as the default choice. But don't just limit yourself to advertisements, okay? You want to be a guest on podcasts. You want to be collaborating with influencers on YouTube. You want to get mentions in books and in audio recordings. If you can try to find channels that are disconnected but still reach the same people, people are going to be like, hey, wait a minute. I can't believe I just saw a printout for that product when I was waiting in the doctor's office, but I also heard about it on LinkedIn. So it must be, it's everywhere, so it must be popular. And you can do that in the most simplistic way. You do that by advertising on multiple channels, but by leveraging word of mouth through other people, that's really when you start to get a compound effect.